Hi, today we're going to explore the dark side, the shadow side we carry that challenges our ego personality. Because no true self knowledge comes without recognition of this aspect of ourselves. As a matter of fact, true awakening and awareness of the self does not come with peacefully meditating and envisioning idealized scenarios and images. Rather, it first comes with acknowledging the dark side and destructive patterns we carry. Because to see your own light, you first need to recognize the shadow casted in front of it. So, who you are lives behind this shadow self, protecting your truth to come forth. The way I like to explain it, our shadow side, which is also what Carl Jung speaks about from psychological perspective. Imagine the shadow is like a veil. Think of a bride on her wedding day walking down the aisle with her face covered by a veil before the groom lifts it up to reveal her true face. A veil that creates a mystery. A veil represents something hidden that's an illusion. It conceals the truth, yet it is often intended as protection rather than deception. And in Eastern cultures, it is used as a metaphor for female independence because it holds nature's secrets from the matrix we live in, or what according to many religions is considered to be a sin. In astrology, that veil or shadow side lives through the point of Lilith. You can read the story of Lilith in many sites, so I'm not going to repeat it here, but I want to give you an understanding of it through a psychological lens, which will help you to more easily and faster navigate in becoming aware of it. And this information you won't find in other astrological sites or videos, as Lilith is often portrayed as something highly sexual and seductive, yet in actuality all sexual tendencies or fetishes hide an abuse aspect in them. So Asaman astrologies focus more on the spiritual significance and path of an individual to self-understanding rather than celebrating abusive patterns, which only live until they're recognized and transformed. Their power doesn't live in replaying them, rather in transforming beyond them by integrating them. So this placement of Lilith in our natal charts refers to our shadow sides, and we all know shadows create a mystery. A mystery creates doubts. So Lilith points to where we have constant doubts. What if, whether or not? And because it doubts, this means it lacks in trust, placing under constant questioning the truth. When we doubt something, we put it under constant tests and questions, where this lack of trust makes us abusive in a particular way or in the particular area of our life where Lilith is placed in the birth chart. And the way it acts out is by us overreacting and doubting out of a need for self-protection. But this overreaction and uncertainty plays out as us abusing the truth. It's as if we remain hidden behind the veil, fearing to reveal our true self. So Lilith by science shows the area which we question and put under scrutiny the attributes of that particular sign. And we overreact in the area of life or the house Lilith is placed in. For example, if one has Lilith and Cancer in the 5th house, would constantly doubt and question if you're being cared for and loved, and you overreact emotionally and be doubtful in romantic relationships or with your children, or whether you should have children. So in order to protect yourself, you overreact. And you can imagine if you're constantly testing your partner or children whether they love you or not, without any awareness to your own insecurities, how abusive that can be for the other person. And I always say this, unless we become aware of our own destructive and self-sabotaging patterns, we cannot truly love another. To give you some guidance and overview in understanding your shadow side, I'm going to briefly go over each Lilith placement. And please note that in a female's chart, this shows the dark feminine energy, where in a male's chart, it is the feminine energy he's secretly attracted to. If Lilith in your natal chart is conjunct your sun, it will constantly make you question your own sense of self, whether you're good enough. If it's conjunct Mercury or in Gemini or in Virgo placement, it will make you doubt whether you make the right decisions and so on. In an earth sign, it will make you doubt your material and physical security and stability. For example, Lilith conjunct Mars or the first house, it will make you doubt your self-assertion and whether you're good at something and whether that's the right time to do it, or if you need to wait. It can make you doubt how you go about things and whether you do them the right way, and if they're going to work out or not. Lilith conjunct Venus or in the second house will make you doubt your own worth, and in return you will either make more money for the service you give or sell yourself or your service short or too cheap for what it's worth. Or if we're speaking about partnerships or seventh house, then you may also undervalue yourself or take advantage of your partner's finances. If Lilith is in Gemini or the third house, you can doubt what you know and lie a lot, or doubt if you understand others correctly or whether you're being understood yourself when you speak. Lilith in Cancer or fourth house may doubt your emotions, so much so until you go through so many emotional turmoils that at some point you may either not fear life any longer or become extremely emotionally unstable, especially in the early part of your life. Lilith in Leo or the fifth house, you may doubt love and having children. You may doubt if you're loved or if you love your current partner, and you may seek to find the next one before ending the relationship with the first, which in a sense already sabotages your current relationship. Lilith in Virgo or sixth house doubts if you have enough money. You may doubt your health and whether you are of service to others. Lilith in Libra seventh house makes you doubt your partner, whether they're loyal to you or whether they're the right partner for you or not. And you may also doubt being deceived in court cases. Lilith in Scorpio or 8th house, doubts will show up in regards to the resources of others, and you may abuse and manipulate them. Doubts when it comes down to sex and not getting pregnant or tied down and so on. Doubts to be too intimately involved with another. Lilith in Sagittarius or the 9th house, doubts regarding higher education, and you may resort to getting a fake diploma. Doubts about foreigners or people with other beliefs. And this can make you have false beliefs or follow a false religion. Lilith in Capricorn or the 10th house, you may have doubts whether you're respected, and you may be very sensitive to this topic and whether you're in control, which can make you disrespect others out of your own insecurities. Lilith in Aquarius or the 11th house, doubting your friend's individuality and the use of any technology or modern devices. You may be prone to take advantage of your friends. Lilith in Pisces or 12th house, doubts regarding your faith and pain. Doubting your own creative abilities and divine origin, which can also make you very addictive. And see, when you stop doubting and becoming aware of your own shadow and sabotaging patterns, Lilith's protection can give you, let's say in water signs, it can give you heightened intuition. In earth signs, it can give you material and physical stability. In air signs, intellect. And in fire signs, a lot of passion and drive. When we look at Lilith transits in a particular house, it will make you doubt even more what is pertaining to that area of life. And approximately every 9 years, you will experience a Lilith return, which will create a situation that will heighten those inner doubts. But what is important to know when we look at the placement of Lilith, although in popular astrology it is viewed as something again very sexualized, we need to become aware of it and learn to let it go, or it will show up in life as self-sabotaging behaviors. So we need to become aware in moments of self-doubt that those are not our actual thoughts. Those are doubts and they're not real. These are not actual fears. It is Lilith that is coming forth and looking for protection, fearing rejection. And these tendencies we can start observing in our lives regarding the area Lilith lives in, which again in psychology are referred to as self-sabotaging behaviors. So we can only work with Lilith through self-awareness and recognizing that veil or shadow, because the more we keep it down, it prevents us from establishing connection to life. The veil is lifted when we are aware of it and accept our overreactive and self-sabotaging patterns, living through doubts. Because the function of Lilith at the end of the day is to protect us. And we need to be aware of where we have the tendency to doubt or abuse others. Ultimately arriving at the truth of where we do not feel safe and where we are looking for that protection. So when we understand where we have these self-sabotaging patterns, we can take control over them instead of letting them run wild and making our lives a complete mess and a lot more difficult than they need to be. And at the end of the day, Lilith, or the goal of embracing our shadow side, is to make us more adequate and realistic about life here and now. We all have fears, doubts, and experience pain in different areas of our lives. No one is immune to those experiences. The difference is those who are and seek to become aware of them can use them for self-empowerment, while those who are not will continue to abuse these hidden parts of themselves, further hurting others, but mostly themselves. And that which through psychology or therapy can take you years to navigate to. Through Asaman astrology, you can easily see where and how these dark or shadow tendencies play out. As I already made a video, Saturn shows our fears and karmic lessons. Lilith shows our doubts and insecurities. Chiron reveals our pain and abilities to heal. So when we take our fears, doubts, and pain and understand their function in our life, only then we can lift the veil and live on our merry way. For those who are interested in working with me one-on-one and want to save their time and money in endless therapy sessions, you can get in touch with me through social media or my website, information for which is included in this video below. Until next time, pudding.